I don't go there often anymore, but when I did, I always saw the two dark green shipping containers that laid perpendicular to the steep driveway. The containers were covered with broken spiderwebs and vibrant green vegetation. Inside reeked the smell of musty wet towels that lingered onto the life jackets. Tall pine trees laid beside the driveway and gave shade to dozens of students. At the end of the driveway, a wooden dock laid on the somewhat green and hazardous water that seemed to bring up a small fish once in a while. The dock was covered in seagull poop. Nearly every single inch was dotted along with this pungent smell of fish sauce. Tippy toes would be used to traverse through the dock, as if mines were laid down. At the end of the dock could be seen boats covered in scales, a wooden bridge in the far distance, pine trees that surrounded the lake, and the green murky water that reflected the sun's rays. My friend introduced me to a sport I had never heard of. It was dragon boat. I was very reluctant to go on the first day. I wasn't in shape. I arrived in beat-up basketball shoes for some odd reason, and I thought I would get straight to paddling. No. I would begin my first day running cross-country style, uphill on the beach. I should have stayed home, man. When I finished the run, I was relieved, until I heard we were doing push-ups. I got down and tried to do my first one. I could barely go down. I was really unfit. Don't worry, it'll be fun. So I was told. After a sum of tough workouts, I was pouring sweat all over my body, and I was all wet even before I got into the water. But finally, I went onto the water to paddle. I went down on the driveway to grab a life jacket and a paddle from the shed. The life jacket was all wet and smelly, along with the paddle being heavy and torn up. I wasn't too fond of paddling for the first time. It was very boring, and it kind of felt like sitting in class. The boat was barely moving, and all I did was sit and learn how to paddle. Later, my friend asked,
Well, did you like it?
"No, not really."
It's okay, you'll get stronger. How about this? Give Dragon Boat a try until the Treasure Island race, and if you don't like it, you can do whatever.
Fine.
That's great. Are you going to come to the next practice?
Probably the next one. After the next one. I'm really sore. Now, I had to go out. I had to keep my word. I thought I'd give it a go until my first race. After weeks of training, sweating, and learning to paddle, it was my first race. My first race ever was going to start. I was at the start line, and I wasn't expecting much until it actually started. When the race started, the boat pulled back, and then started moving quick. I lost my balance, but I kept on paddling. Then just like that, the race was over. I felt the adrenaline while I was racing. It was crazy, intense, and I loved it. I wanted to race more. Put me in coach, I want to race again. I didn't say that, but that's how I felt. Race after race, I trained and trained. It was difficult, but I had my team beside me when I was training. They pushed me into what I couldn't do. Also, my reward from training was being able to race, so I kept on doing what I needed to do. Now that I look back, there is not 1 second of regret joining Dragon Boat. Even though I don't paddle anymore, I still miss going to Lake Merced to practice and to see the friends that I have made.